What does one have to do to get a man sacked? So I ask, what does one have to do to get a man sacked? If you didn't know, Brazil are officially out of the Copa America. They lost to Peru. Now, the headline will read like this, and this is the problem that people will get into. The headline will read, Peru, handball. How this is an injustice. What is this? This is an injustice. How could they have done this to Brazil? This is wrong. Blah blah. This is cheating. This is wrong. Have we now gotten to a stage where Brazil can't beat Ecuador, and Brazil are looking for a 0-0 against Peru? The only win that they can get is against Haiti. That's the problem. So people are saying, and people forget, this is Brazil. Pele, Zico, Romario, Socrates, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Garrincha. That Brazil, you're telling me that they can't beat Peru? They're looking for a 0-0 against Peru? And they can't beat Ecuador? That's the real story here. And for me, that wasn't a handball. That was the hand of justice. As Maradona did the hand of God in 1986, this was the hand of justice. Sack this man. Sack this man. Because it's very insulting that Brazil I thought it was a joke. Brazil were really playing for a 0-0 draw against Peru. So they could just get that 1 point, and that 1 point will take them to, and they will celebrate that, yes, we got that hard-fought 0-0 draw, and then we can go. Against Peru? Because Peru were looking to win the game. But the Brazil I know beat Ecuador, beat Haiti, beat Peru. It's a foregone conclusion, 9 points, see you later, bye-bye. And people say, they were missing Neymar and Douglas Costa. This is Brazil. I've seen the under-17s play. I've seen the young people play. But this is Brazil. You're telling me that in the whole of Brazil, these are the best 11 players, not counting Douglas Costa and Neymar? Really? So for me, it's like, and I've been calling for his head for a long time. Sack this man. Sack this man, because Dunga has regressed Brazilian football. And which is what I say to people, and this is a mantra I always say. Every country has a DNA. They have a personality. They have a character. Like for Nigeria, we play a certain way. Brazilians play a certain way. English play a certain way. If you now try and make Brazil play like Italians, it will never work because it's not in their DNA. If Italy now trying to play like Brazil, like what Prandelli tried to do, it will never work. Because Italy are the Catenaccio defensive kind of team. Okay? England are the 4-4-2 kind of team. Brazil are an all-out attacking team. Argentina are an all-out attacking team. This is how they play. And remember, this is South America. Maybe the only defensive team in South America I can think of is really Paraguay, who have always played that kind of defensive, physical kind of way. But Brazil and Argentina, people in Argentina would pretty much have a revolt if their team started to defend and hold it back, because that's not in Argentina's DNA. And in Brazil's DNA, Brazil, you live and die by your DNA. If you get beat attacking, so be it. But that is just how you play. You make adjustments and changes based on that ethos. So again, I'm calling for his head. Dunga cannot still be manager. And I think what Brazil needs to understand is that 7-1 was bad. I understand that. And it's going to be very hard to get over 7-1. I've said the only way they can get over 7-1 is by either winning the World Cup or by beating Germany. Not 7-1, but just beating them. That's the way they can try and begin the healing process. But as of right now, it hurts. It's painful. Because 7-1 is still in the country's psyche. And that crap about, them beating Haiti 7-1 is what had now made up for it. No. So, that's what Brazil have to realize is that Dunga isn't the answer. Being defensive isn't the answer. Like, the reason why they lost 7-1 wasn't because of their attack. It's because, I believe, the wrong coach, but really, those were not the best players. Brazil those were not the best players. Fred, those were just not the best players that Brazil had on the table. So, what needs to happen is that you keep your DNA, you get a manager who keeps the Brazilian way of playing. And you're not always going to win. That's the whole point. Like, what Brazil have forgotten is that, oh my gosh, we're so used to winning, now we're losing, let's just try and find a way to win. No. Brazil's mantra wasn't, oh, we just win through, however. It's how they won. But all those times in the 80s, where they didn't win, they still played the way. Look, perhaps the most famous team never to win a tournament, apart from Holland in Euro 2000, was that 1982 Brazil team that people still talk about them. They didn't win the damn world. They got knocked out in the quarters or the semis, but people still talk about them because of how well they played. That's the Brazil I know. That you live and die by your DNA. You live and die by your DNA. So there will be a point in time, ebb and flows, where even if you attack and then you move forward, you won't be winning. Brazil won't be winning. But it will come around. Just like in the 80s, they didn't win anything in the 80s, but once it now came into 94, 98, 2002, it came up around. And they should really have won it in 2006 because that was one of their best teams. So that's what I'm talking about. And obviously now, through to 2010, it's, gone down. But I think, Brazil, I'm sorry, if you go to those favelas and you go to those streets, take me to Brazil. I can give you an 11 that gets 9 points in this group. Take me to the favelas. Take me to the streets. Take me to the streets of Brazil. I will pick an 11 that gets 9 points out of this group. Then we're talking about a quarterfinal. So yeah, I mean, that's the key here. Forget about the handball. Because for me, yeah, I mean, it was hard to see, but on multiple replays, yes, it was a handball. But for me, this is the best thing that could have happened to Brazil. Because people say, oh, it was unjustified, it was this or that. But when you look at the bigger picture, you couldn't beat Ecuador. And you couldn't beat Peru. You couldn't get goals against Peru. You couldn't score against Peru. You don't have like 80-something minutes before the goal came, you couldn't score against Peru. You were actually looking for a draw. Sack Dunga, get a manager that takes it back to the Brazil DNA and live and die by your way of playing. That's how it is. Follow me on Twitter right here at Half a Pot for more knowledge and science. Brazil, man.